بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهم وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا وكأين من قرية عتت عن أمر ربها فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا وعذبناها عذابا نكرا فذاقت وبال أمرها وكان عاقبة أمرها خسرا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب الذين آمنوا قد أنزل الله إليكم ذكرا رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات ليخرج الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات من الظلمات إلى النور ومن يؤمن بالله ويعمل صالحا يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا قد أحسن الله له رزقا الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما.
As the gender war rages on, in order to keep the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Exactly. I'm your host, Saudi Ma'am. Remove your shoes and enter upon your right foot upon the right state of mind, be in the lap. Topic: just pearly things. Appropriation or opportunist. Appropriation or opportunity or opportunist. There has been some people that accused just pearly things, which is one of the newer kids on the block, to tout red pill philosophy. Although she is a Caucasian female, she is indeed one of the leaders today of the manosphere. For those of you that do not know, this would be her. This would be her right here. Okay? If you've never seen her before. She is one, and I did not misspeak, she is one of the leaders today in the manosphere. Manosphere, okay? She's one of the leaders to tout red pill philosophy, so on and so forth. So some have accused her of appropriation, that she is appropriating black culture. Well, the only way she can be appropriating black culture is if she was claiming to be a black manospheric, figure. A black manospheric figure. I don't think she's claiming that. Even on her show one time, a black woman accused her of producing, uh, not on her show, it was another show she was guest on. I think it was Lapeef Network or one of those shows, and this black woman said, "Well, you're appropriating because you're producing black content." And Pearl corrected her and said, "I don't produce black content." Yes, the majority of people that are on her show are black. How you say, European African, or African European, what have you. So I know how to say African American, African European. I guess that's what you say. I don't know what the descendants of slaves there called themselves, but nevertheless, she was accused of appropriation. She was accused of producing black content, which I don't think that she produced black content. And the picture I put up is close to the way she always dresses. She always dresses. You can't say conservatively because she'll have her legs out and so on and so forth. But she doesn't. I think by her own admission, if I'm not mistaken, uh, she wears her mom's dresses, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. But nevertheless, I don't know if that was a joke, pun intended, but I think that she dresses, she doesn't dress for the club most of the time, but some of the dresses, of course, if you weigh everything by Islamic standard, they all are off, the straight path. But in their estimation of conservative, you would say she dresses somewhat conservative as compared to. But again, as Muslims, our viewpoint of life, our hadara, our viewpoint of life is different. So we see things differently. I'm trying to speak in a general sense. Okay. Now, when Kevin Samuels passed away, he left a huge void. Okay. He left a huge void. The void that he left had other people taking his content while claiming fair use, would use it and react to it, just as they did when he was alive. But because he passed away, that really allowed them, because there would be no new content produced, right? So that allowed them to take his old content to opine upon it, and then claiming fair use, to react to it, and that built, viewerships and subscriptions for other platforms. I did react to something Kevin Samuels, some content that he did, but I never used his content. I could have. I never used his content. I'm trying to do something which is called grow organically, meaning that the ones that view will refer and refer and refer. I did the same thing in business. I didn't care about becoming a millionaire, which was actually at my disposal at one time. I wanted to grow it organically. New customers could pay or not pay. Very, contentious situation with new customers that you have no background with. So I went with repeat customers and referrals. Repeat customers and referrals, because if I'm with a repeat customer, we already have rapport. If I'm with a referral, then I could always go back to the one that referred and seek mediation if there is a discrepancy in pay and work, so on and so forth. So with that being said, I wanted to grow my business organically, just as I wanted to grow my podcast organically. Okay. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brother Michael L. Smith II. Alhamdulillah. So, with that being said, Kevin Samuels' void left others to savage, and scavenge, his content, because no new content would be produced. Okay. And because his death left a void, those that were already producing original content, they were thought to, or were expected to, just rise to the top. I mean, there's a void at the top. There's a void at the top. Okay, so they were expected to just rise to the top. You know, when you shoot the bullet, bow. The one that was under the one you just shot in the chamber. You know, semi-automatic, what have you, automatic. It's now next up. So when his bullet was shot and he would passed away, then the next bullet would normally rise to the top of the clip. Um, and some were expecting to move up naturally. Okay, that happened for some, and for some it did not. Okay, uh, some expected uh, again to rise up a level, uh, and but they did not. Okay, but beyond that, uh, Pearl sees an opportunity. She saw an opportunity to take his spot. See what I did? Uh, People use his content because no new content will be produced. Even today, they're revamping his content, his old content, and some because of the void expected to naturally rise up because they were already in competition. Even if they were close friends with him, I'm saying competition because everybody is trying to get numbers and viewership and subscriptions and likes and interaction, basically engagement, what they call it. And then some that were expected to rise up naturally rose up naturally, and some that expected to rise up naturally didn't. Okay, Pearl saw the opportunity to take the spot. There's a void, no natural rise. Take the spot. So she shows some intelligence in this. Okay, she shows some intelligence. Now, as far as her format, for those of you that seen the show Just Pearly Things, um, her format is similar to uh, Joe Budden podcast. Okay, where people will sit around. It's similar to Math Hoffa's format, which is my expert opinion. Okay, it's similar to that format. That's a barbershop format, literally in a barbershop. Okay, but the way they sit around, and and the way everybody has an individual mic. It shows signs of that she pulled from also Fresh and Fitna. Okay, and why do you say fitna instead of fit? Because Myron jumps in and out claiming to be Muslim. His family's Muslim. He jumps in and out of it, so I'll call him Fitna and I won't call him Fit. Okay. So nevertheless, she took. You could see she took the format. Her format, the look. She took elements from the most popular of them. She took elements from the most popular of them. Okay, like I say, mixture of Joe Budden, Fresh and Fitna, even to the point where she has a producer behind the glass. Fresh and Fitna has, I think his name is Chris. He's behind the glass. He's in charge of bringing in the talent. Okay, he's in charge of bringing in the talent. She has a producer behind the glass. Something I'll mention here that's not in my notes. She hires Nigerians to get her shorts, her clips, to do producing, to do advertising. She hires Nigerians, and she makes a lot of money doing this. And they, some said she's worth. I'm not gonna say the number. It wasn't. It was 220,000. I think they say she was worth. I think that's what she's claiming. I don't think that's her worth. She actually has people on her payroll, Nigerian, which means she don't have to pay them an exorbitant amount of money, but she's actually paying them to cut clips. She taught them how to edit. She taught them how to do this, how to do that. So she has them on her payroll. And the producer behind the glass is a look she took from Fresh and Fit. Now, I'm not criticizing. I mean, I'm not. If I wasn't, if I was doing this for income and for, I would jump right in. I would do some. I know a lot of even some Muslim brothers, Manospheric Muslim brothers, Red Pill Muslim brothers. They do clickbait. They're getting into real raunchy topics. Uh, I'm making Zena with my ex, but I don't want to remarry him. Uh, my parents refused to marry me off, so therefore I'm making Zena secretly with the very man I wanted to marry. They got these clickbaitish topics and thumbnails, and I mean, yes, I learned from Ahmed D that Rahmatullah alayh, not personally one on one, but I learned from him that he said that the church, when he passed by the church, they would have what's called a placard. The placard, or the little it's not a matinee. It's not called a matinee. It's called a something. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, in front of the church, they'll have the little thing that lets you know what the sermon is going to be about next week. Okay, the marquee. I guess y'all just can't call it the marquee because it's not up high. Sometimes it's up high, but nevertheless, they would have it there, and it would be like, don't die without this. Now people like, ooh, die. Let me go find out Sunday what am I missing before I die. So it was always an interesting topic that they'll put on these, lack of a better word, marquees in front of the church, the placard, as Ahmadiyya would call it. I don't know if that's a South African term. He's Indian, but he was, spent most of his time in South Africa. So, it was really inviting. It was really stimulating. So clickbait type things was not new. Of course, you go into church, it's gonna be old, dry sermon, maybe even be entertaining, but it wouldn't be anything of essence, okay, or substance. So nevertheless, with that being said, my titles, are to spark interest, but I'm covering exactly what I'm saying. It's not to make you click on it and then I'm talking about some ancillary topic. I noticed it was during the Olympics. I was following, getting updates and checking out, because I don't have a TV. I don't have regular television, so I got to go to YouTube and click on the highlights of football games and things like that. So I noticed that they would do the Olympic stuff, and then I started getting these thumbnails with Olympic jumpers and runners, female, and they would Photoshop their hindquarters and make their thighs bigger and their butt wider. They would do that. Okay, now why are they doing that? Because they're trying to get men to click on that thumbnail and to to view that video, because they want views. So and I noticed I'm like, what is this, man? I mean, why are they doing that? Because the thumbnail is not representative of the actual thing that you was going to see. So anyway, it's called clickbait. They call it clickbait. Now a lot of Muslim brothers are doing real dramatic thumbnails and stuff like that. And it's nothing. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with it, long as you're talking about the topic that you're advertising, or that may be considered khuda'ah or deception. Okay. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Sister Linda Woods. You see, she said, what's happening with you? What's the matter now? Subhanallah. Okay, so with that being said, not only she took from formats like Joe Budden podcast, I see some elements of it. I see elements of Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion. I see elements of Fresh and Fitna. Okay, I think she really went with Fresh and Fitna a lot, except that she don't have the table in the middle. Okay, but she does have the producer behind the glass. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah, brother Nasser, alhamdulillah. So not only that, she has alcohol present. Alcohol. I was never a drinker. I can't even recall a taste for you all, because that just wasn't something that I did. I didn't do drugs, alcohol, even as a non-Muslim. But she has what I guess people call the strong liquor. You can see the color is light, it's clear, and it's dark. I hear people talk about dark liquor, clear liquor, and all that type of stuff. But nevertheless, she has it present and on display. Now, where did she get that from? Fresh and Fitna in their first their start, they had liquor present and on display. Now they just have it present. It's present, but it's in the kitchen area. Uh, and it's not actually on the table. Although they have the red plastic cups. Red plastic cups is almost equivalent to alcohol. Styrofoam cups used to be the thing. I guess when people they drink that promethazine or what they call it. I can't even say the word right. Promethazine or whatever. It's the scissor. The scissor they used to sip that. Some even attributed scissor to the downfall of Roy Jones. He was a very good fighter, could knock you out at will, one punch, very hands down, very elusive, straight jab, knock you to the ground. They attributed the downfall of his boxing career to drinking scissor in Houston, Texas, with Bun B and all those guys. So I can believe that because he reached a point in his career where you barely touch him wrong and he fell down. So that stuff is no joke. That's codeine, heavy codeine, so on and so forth. It's no joke. So nevertheless, so the alcohol is there. I think it's kind of, if you look at, drinking codeine, exactly. If you look at the content and the discussion that's being had, the alcohol seems really out of place. I don't remember ever seeing anybody drinking on this show actually. But the alcohol is present and it's visible, It's present and it's on display. So I don't know. But anyway, her talking points. Remember, I'm saying that some were going to live off of Kevin Samuels' old clips and hit in the void following his death. Some were expected to that were always the leaders. I love you for the sake of Allah too, Sister Linda. Alhamdulillah. So, some were expected just to rise up because they were already right under Kevin. Kevin Samuels was the king, and they were right under him, so they expected to rise up and fill that void. It's like the central nervous system when you have the postsynaptic gap and the presynaptic gap. The presynaptic gap, it releases the endorphins that go over to the postsynaptic gap in order to heal pain and stuff like that. So they were expected to rise and fit that gap, right? Rise and fit that gap. And some of them didn't naturally rise. They didn't rise at all. So that was a failed thing. But Pearl, saw an opportunity and she seized upon it, okay? She's been accused of appropriation. Why are you talking about these, she appropriating not only, they say, a black, so-called black culture. I don't, but I don't see that. But also manospheric culture. It's manosphere, okay? And they say she's appropriating, and some say that she is producing black content, which appropriation, you could say whatever. She is appropriating manosphere. You can say she's appropriating red pill, but women can be red pill, okay? But not manospheric, okay? And, but she took an opportunity. So, I mean, you can't say much negative about her, except that she was genius enough to elbow her way into that void, So, big ups to her for that point. Okay, now her talking points. What are her talking points? Her talking points, really. Remember, I said she elbowed her way in, and got into that Kevin Samuels void, that gap. She's parroting almost Kevin Samuels. She's parroting him. Nothing new to see there. It's new lips, new skin, new biology, new gender. The same points that Kevin Samuels in the manosphere were spouting. Same points. She's not bringing anything new. Now, I'm not saying she didn't research those statistics. She keeps her laptop on her lap, and she's swipe. I mean, she got the keyboard under her. It's one of those folding ones, the ones that fold backwards, and she's swiping away. She's looking up statistics and percentages and surveys and things like that. She's looking that stuff up, so she has it right on hand, and she's not gonna let anybody misspeak as long as she has Google at her disposal. So, but her talking points are very much Kevin Samuels ish. Okay, even to the point that she says, "Don't overtalk me." I mean, when I first heard it, it was so strange. Now, I'm going to go into something, okay? I'm going to go into the slave mentality uh, of black people. Okay, I'm going to go into the slave residue that black people still have on their hearts and minds. I'm going to go there, but let me do this real quick. When I first heard her say, don't overtalk me, don't overtalk me. Wow. I like, that rings a bell, a familiarity. So it's like, don't overtalk me, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. She's not only doing the Kevin Samuels thing, just nothing new really. I mean, she might look up her own statistics, but if you just watch Kevin Samuels, you can make notes. You don't have to really do research. You can make notes because he was well researched. Okay. And that would make people really angry at him because he's well researched, and there's nothing you can combat what he said except, well, I don't like the way you said it, which is that's a female thing. I don't like the way you said it. Men don't say, if a man says I don't like the way you say it, then I give him 2 to 3 years before he gets a sex change, before he quote unquote transitions, because he's almost there. Okay, there's no I don't like the way you said it. You know what I'm saying, we may say put some respect on my name. A man might say, who you think you're talking to? You know what I'm saying? One prison dialogue, I don't know about other places, but in Texas, it's better get that man out your voice. You better get that man out your throat. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you're talking too strict. You're talking too strict, Watch who you're talking to, so on and so forth. But not, don't overtalk me, don't overtalk me. Now, of course, this is a format. It's a professional format. But nevertheless, all her talking points are Kevin Samuels-ish talking points. Not saying she copied them verbatim. She could have done her own research, but the truth, the fountain you drink from truth is going to be very or eerily similar every time. The don't talk over me. How did black women respond to Kevin Samuels when he said, don't talk over me? I'm finna go there. First, I'm going to say, how did white women respond to Kevin Samuels, or Mexican women, Latinas? How did white women respond to Kevin Samuels when he said, don't overtalk me? They got quiet. White women got quiet because majority of them are raised in 2-parent households because they tend to marry, where 1 out of 4 black women marries at all anybody of any race. Okay, 1 out of 4 only. They tend to marry. We have malls here, malls that are that everybody goes to, but there are certain malls that are more higher end malls, like here, La Cantera, where Tiger Woods used to go and play golf and stuff like that when he came to San Antonio. This place is where the well-to-do, where the Spurs or the other sports stars and millionaires and people of financial affluence would shop. Go there and look at the women. Not look at them as in gawk at them, but look at their hands. Look at their left hand ring finger. You're going to see a lot of wedding bands. If not engagement, wedding bands. But if you go to I ain't going to say the hood mall, because we don't have a hood mall here anymore. I think we had one. And one of them, when I was younger, we turned it into, we used to have riots and fight and stuff like that, gang fights. It was kind of fun, but we used to have gang fights and stuff like that in the mall and shut the whole mall down. But we can't do that on the white side of town, although we did have, Anyway, so, but the point I'm making is that go to the hood, go to the swap meet, the flea market, wherever black people shop, primarily that's, just regular black people, not the black people that live with you know, uh, those folks. Look at their hands. No wedding ring. You'll see a Mickey Mouse, two-finger Mickey Mouse ring. You'll see some bangles. Small rings look like bangles, got little things hanging off, jiggling. Loose. It's just you'll see something that's different. You know, you don't have to have a wonderful $25,000 ring like a lot of these women are wearing, but at least a band that signifies marriage with the kuffar. I'm not saying Muslim women, that's different. But with the kuffar, a band ring represents marriage. Okay? So you won't see a lot of wedding rings. And when you look why, 1 out of 4 black women actually will marry. Okay? White women tend to go to college looking for husbands, and black women tend to go to college looking for a degree so they don't have to depend on a man. You know what I'm saying? And even if white women are in college looking for trying to get a degree so they don't have to be totally dependent upon a man, they're still looking for a husband, and their backup plan is their degree. You know what I'm saying? Black women are looking for a degree, and the backup plan is maybe they'll find a good husband. But only 1 out of 4. So the mentality is there. It's not my fault. I'm just regurgitating, the facts. Okay, so anyway, Kevin Samuels tells a white woman, don't talk over me. He tells an Asian woman, don't talk over me. He say, who the French toast you think you are? That's his term. Who the French toast you think you are? So they'll quiet down. The Latinas, for the most part, quiet down. The white women would immediately be quiet and listen. Okay? When Kevin Samuels told black women, don't overtalk me, he would go to, who the French toast you think you're talking to? It would get more heated. He would say, you know what? Get the F off my show. He would curse. He would get the F off my show. And the thing about it is that they wouldn't shut up. Now, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 maybe would shut up. And shut up seems harsh, but hey, be quiet, shut up. It's all the same language, For me, it's all the same language. I know one seems softer, but if you're disrespecting somebody, talking over somebody on their show, see, you're the guest, he's the host. She's the host on Just Pearly things, right? So you can't out-talk them because that's not being a good guest. And if they don't allow you to talk, they're not being a good host. So if you're talking and no one's over-talking you, and then as soon as someone starts talking, you start over-talking them, that makes for bad listening. That's a terrible show, okay? So Kevin Samuels will say, don't over-talk me. White women, quiet. Asian women, quiet. Latina women, quiet. Black women, yeah, that's why you're gay. That's why, that's why this, that's why that, get the blank off my show, so on and so forth. This is what I'm talking about. He'll say, this is what I'm talking about right here. So let's get back to Just Pearly things. Let's get back to Pearl. Pearl says to her predominantly black guest, she'll bring on Arab, she'll bring on Asian, she'll bring on white, but predominantly black guests, men and women, okay? And she'll say, she's sitting there on her computer, Oh, I didn't know Mahdi Tijani. I didn't know Mahdi Tijani was on her show. If that's when you're talking about Mahdi Tijani, okay. But nevertheless, I didn't see that one. Okay, so she would say, "Don't overtalk me." Look at it. Don't overtalk me. The white women on her show would be quiet. Okay, Mahdi Tijani, alhamdulillah. I never saw that one. Okay, Mahdi Tijani was on the show, alhamdulillah. I'm sure that got him a lot of more viewers going on that show. Because she's doing big things, okay? Big things as far as YouTube-wise and whatever else, okay? TikTok. Well, she started on TikTok doing shorts. And from those shorts, she built up quite a bit of following to start what she has now. And you can tell she's really funded. It's really produced well. She was funded from the jump. Now she's getting better and better and better, as far as what she does, okay? Pearl tells the white women, quiet. White women get quiet. Pearl tells Asian women quiet. Arab women quiet. They get quiet. Pearl tells, I don't know if she had any Hispanic or Latinas on her show as of yet. Possibly, I think I saw one. She says, get quiet. Don't overtalk me. And they get quiet. What happens when Pearl, white woman, thinner lips, almost no melanin content, you know, when she tells black women to be quiet? Guess what they do? They get quiet. Check it out. She's touting the same talking points of Kevin Samuels, even to the point where she says, don't overtalk me. Even to that point, she's repeating his mantra, don't overtalk me. And white women get quiet. They respect her. Asian, Arab, respect her. Latina, respect her. The men on the show respect her. They get quiet. Black, white, whatever, they get quiet. Black women get quiet. Now, why is that? Slave mentality. That's slave residue. That's slave residue. That's slave residue. They see her as an authoritative figure. She looks almost like a ghost, okay? They see her as an authoritative figure. So therefore, they're not going to try to ruffle her white feathers. But Kevin Samuels, that's why you mess with dudes and you closeted and really disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Really disrespectful. And but her, they don't do that. Now you might say, well, these are women that are in, these are European Africans, so on and so forth. Well, they if you listen to them, they have just as much of a ratchet lifestyle as the ones over here. Maybe close to it or not. They got the club life and the bodies and and it's hard to find a chaste one amongst their camp, and so on and so forth. So why does black women get quiet when she says be quiet on her show? I said slave residue. Kevin Samuels could not have them be quiet unless he muted them. And there was one white woman that kept trying to push her feminist points on Kevin Samuels, and he muted her, and he was laughing like, she's still talking. Look, y'all. She's still talking. She was going off. But he said, nobody can hear you, darling. Nobody can hear you. And she kept talking, and she was trying to push an agenda. It wasn't because she was masculine or ghetto. It wasn't because of that. So again, that's what I want to say, that don't talk over me is eerily similar verbatim to Kevin Samuels. Verbatim with Kevin Samuels. But the response to don't overtalk me is vastly different when it comes from thinner lips. Thinner lips, fairer skin, okay? They get quiet. So anyway, Kazar Souza says she's in London, and I'm sure she came across his content. Oh, no, it's more than come across. She is parroting Kevin Samuels. She knows Kevin Samuels. You have to be, of a certain ilk not to know who Kevin Samuels was, okay? She doesn't come off as ratchet. She is the host of the show. They must come correct with respect. Unfortunately, the moron Hafiz thought he can bully her. He embarrassed himself. I didn't see that one. I think I'm going to look it up. Once I get off of here, I'm going to look it up. I did not, is that, no, that's not, Hafiz. Is that his first name or last name? Okay, I'm thinking of Tariq Nasheed. That's a different guy. Hafiz, I don't know this person. Okay, I don't know that person. But what I will do, inshallah, I'll look it up. Roommates podcast host. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that one. It's so many of them. I would only watch them for research purposes. If I see a thumbnail, I really watch a lot of shorts, clips. I don't watch whole shows because I'm not watching for anything except entertainment purposes. And that 7-minute, 5-minute clip, 10-minute clip at the most, I find entertaining, I'm not going there to learn anything. Okay, I'm not going there to learn anything. So that's why I haven't sat down to watch a whole show. Hello to goodbye. Never. Uh, but that one with Hafiz, I'll inshallah, I'll try to look that up and look at it. So that brings me to something that Kezar Souza said. Uh, he said that uh, okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, he says that she's in London. That's one thing I was going to bring up. Okay, her location. She didn't do what Kevin Samuels did. She didn't go to Atlanta to start her studio. Okay, she didn't go to Atlanta. Oh, Kevin Samuels passed away. I finna hit Atlanta. I finna fill that void. As identical as I can. No, she didn't do that. She took her American self, American voice, accent, everything, has nothing European or except her looks are European. She has nothing, you know, uh, she has nothing that resembles the dialect and the accent of the UK or London Muslim. I mean, Muslim, I'll say Muslim person, not Muslim, but person. Well, Muslims talk the same as they all have this accent. They got this Cockney. Some speak Cockney, which is really strong European dialect. It might be Cockney might be considered ghetto. I don't know. Might be considered the Ebonics of Europe, Cockney. But she doesn't, like matter. It doesn't matter. They don't say the T. It doesn't matter. The R, maybe they'll say the R at the beginning of a word, but it doesn't matter. And they say stuff like that. In it, in it, stuff like that. So she doesn't use any of that. She's not from there. She's from America. She's born in, oh man, I forgot where she's born. But she's born here in the States, and she went there to start her thing. So I guess she did her research very well. She did her research very, very well. And she is successful in what she's doing. She's very successful. She's branching out. She's going to start something about wife material. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Brother Jawad. She's going to start something about wife material, but building a wife. Hoe to a housewife or something. She's going to start something like that. She's basically going to be coaching wives. And people said, well, how you going to coach wives? You ain't married. She said, well, I'm not married, but I'll have, professionals on to discuss this issue. It won't just be me talking about it. So she's way ahead of the game. Kezar Souza says she went to the UK because she said something about being offered to play volleyball in the UK. Okay, so she quit and did the YouTube thing. She said that she also was a caller on the KS show. Yeah, okay. I believe that. I believe that she did. Yeah. So I don't remember her voice or anything on the show. Again, with Kevin Samuels, I may have watched 2 whole shows, but most of those were just clips, and it was for entertainment purposes because I didn't expect him to teach me anything that I couldn't research myself, And even some things I heard, I went back and researched it, and it's really tricky because it depends on the angle in which you research it or the angle in which you approach a thing. Like for instance, if you say 1 out of 4 black women will marry, I think that may be America. I don't know if that is outside of America. I would have to look again. If you say 1 out of 4 will marry, some say, well, black men don't want to marry them. And then Kevin Samuels will say, no, of any race. That's white, Asian, Arab, of Mexican, any race. Nobody wants to, any of you go to OK Cupid, I think that's one. You got Tinder, whatever. Okay, you go to these dating sites, they say the least clickable are black women. Now, what could that be? I don't know. There could be different factors for that. Okay, it can be because of what they show on TV. People think that that's art imitating life, and they don't want no parts of the neck movement, the neck movement and the this, the I don't know how they do this, they snatch the air, they put their finger in your face, they don't want no parts of that. I'm not saying all of them do that. I'm saying that that's what you see on TV. You see it on the Housewives and this and the that and the Atlanta basketball wives and I never watched these shows. I saw clips of some of them maybe talking about a show and how they behave and then you'll see a clip and you'll be like, ooh man, And plus, I got real life experience with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, in my real life experience doesn't mean that it's a general rule, but it's not my fault that black women are the least clickable on these dating sites. Asian men, black women. Okay? Asian men, black women. You know, nobody checking, women not checking for Asian men for the most part, and they're not checking for black women. Men are not checking for black women. So, hey, I didn't make up the rules. I'm just giving you all what I understand. Okay. She said Kevin Samuels inspired her and had an influence on her. Man, come on. Yeah, she's basically parroting Kevin Samuels. And like I said, I'm not blaming her. She's she's a smart one. Okay. She has a clip where she called on the show and Kevin talked to her. Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah. See, I didn't go that deep in my research of what inspired her and things like that. Alhamdulillah, thank you all for your help. But nevertheless, like I said, it's she's repeating, Kevin Samuels' talking points based on research. So maybe they researched the same thing. Definitely, without you telling me that, I know that he inspired her. I know that he inspired her. My son was at the media day for the high school senior all-star game they're going to play in January, inshallah ta'ala. Black team versus white team, I think, something like that. So with that all-star game, they had a media day. First of this month, I think. First or sixth. I think the 6th of this month. Anyway. So I went to the media thing, and they were asking him what when growing up, what player inspired you, and he said such and such a player. They say, but who's your favorite player now? He said such and such a player. You know what I'm saying? So it was two different players, and they asked all of the boys that were being asked these all stars, and it was like that. So you'll see the influence on the play. Now the position they played, the person that they mentioned as their influence for football, tackle football, that person played their position or similar. Okay, so they didn't say, oh, Tom Brady and they're a linebacker, right? They didn't say, Palomalu and they're a long snapper. No, it wasn't like that. Like the person that they named, if they were a receiver, they named the receiver. The person they named, if they were a quarterback, they named the quarterback. So when you watch her, listen to her, look up how her podcast is set up, so on and so forth, you say, okay, I see she got it from Fresh and Fitna. She got it from Joe Budden. She got it from Matt Hoffa's My Expert Opinion. You could see she took elements, okay? And then her speaking points, you could say heavy Kevin Samuels, heavy Kevin Samuels on the speaking points. So Jawad says, I like the auntie that is on the show, puts women in their place. Yeah, I wish they replace auntie. She's not married. She's never been married. I heard her story. But, I think, she's there now, but, I would replace her. And she's not on all the shows. That guy Kings, that guy used to play football here in America, kind of buff, tats, black dude. He got his own show. I guess it spun off from Just Pearly Things, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he had a show before that. Or like with other shows, I wouldn't know. Okay. Nevertheless, I like the Crimson Cure show as well as She Puts Women. Yeah, she's I actually had the chance to see some of her show. I didn't watch the whole thing. I know you mentioned it, and King Riches. Yeah, King Riches. Yeah. So I watched some of her show, and she's still rough. She's rough. You know, she's rough around the edges. She still needs to fine tune it a little bit more. Yeah, she needs to fine tune it just a little bit more. I might try to reach out to her and see if or you can mention it. See if we could do a joint deal. You know, because I'm rough too. You know, so two rough people coming together might can make something smooth. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, that was the last thing I had about just Pearly things. Is her location? Like you said, if she went there for volleyball opportunities, because she's 5'10", I think. You know, she looks taller than that. But women, you know, women are 5'10", man. They look 6 foot tall when they're 5'10". You know, they look 6 foot, 6'5". You know, but women just aren't naturally that tall. And when they are tall, it's an anomaly, right? So anyway, nevertheless, you know, that's what I have on that topic. Appreciate you guys' input, setting me straight, giving me new information that I did not research, that I don't have on my notes to say, and alhamdulillah, you know, you all added great value to it. Now, I'm going to go into my delusional dating profile of the week. Okay. Now, this delusional dating profile is I'm going to do something. Black Mind, yeah, okay, yeah, Black Mind, and yeah, Black Mind is an excellent orator. You know, he's an excellent orator. He could speaks very well. He has the voice for radio, definitely. So anyway, our delusional dating profile of the week is this individual, and I am going to show a picture of her this time. I didn't blot out the eyes and all that stuff, you know, but I'm going to show a picture of her after we go through the profile. Okay, this is okay. We're not going to do that one yet. We're going to do this one. I'm sorry. We're going to do this one. Okay, this is Tree. You know, Tree is delusional. Okay, Tree says Tree is 44 years old. Okay, I thought she was like 58. Okay, anyway, I'm not saying because of her looks. I'm saying that I got more than one of these, and it kind of, you know. Anyway, so Tree is 44. Okay, now she didn't just hit the wall. She's not on the wall. You know, she's over the wall. You know, she's over the wall. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brother Abdullahi ibn Gregory. Okay, so she's over the wall. You know, she's over the wall, and that doesn't mean that she's not. By her age, doesn't mean she's not marriage material. If she takes care of herself, so on and so forth, she won't increase her eggs. She won't increase her ability to have a healthy child, but she will increase her attractiveness. And if she is open to polygyny, then she doubles her chances of finding a mate at that time. She doubles her chances. If she can cook, if she can clean, yada, yada, yada. If she's cooperative, if she's friendly, okay, things like that, you can increase your chances. But, of course, they're going to stick to their guns, and something's wrong with men if we just won't accept anything, okay? If we just won't accept anything, then something's wrong with us. Nevertheless, Tree is 44. Here we go again, which means she been on this site. And it didn't go well. One woman says, I'm only going to do one at a time. So I'm going to talk to one person. If it don't work, I'll go to another person. I'm not going to talk to multiple dudes. It's not really within a woman's nature to talk to multiple suitors at one time. Even in Islam, if a man proposed to a woman and she accepted, it's haram for another man to come in terms of graze upon his brother's land. He can't. It's like you're going over to eat off your brother's land because he already proposed to her. Maybe you're a better catch. Maybe you have the mark of the beast, 666. You're 6 foot or better. You have 6 figures or better, and you have 6 inches or better, right? So you got the mark of the beast, and your brother may not have. Your brother might be 5'8". Your brother might make 50,000 a year, and who knows about the private matter. So nevertheless, you step in and say, hey, how about me? It's haram to do that because, you can't do your brother like that. And who's to say y'all marriage is going to work and she's going to be happy with you just because you make more money and you're taller, So anyway, nevertheless, she said, here we go again, which means she been on the site before and it didn't quite work out. I wonder why. Anyway, so y'all are so weird. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to add punctuation because it kills me inside to try to make sense of what they're saying without the punctuation. So I'm going to, add punctuation to make myself. See, I'm going to do this selfishly, add punctuation to calm myself, okay? Keep my blood pressure down, so on and so forth. Y'all are so weird. Why match and then never speak? Okay? You will get deleted if you don't speak within 24 hours. Who does that within 24 hours? Almost like MacGyver. It's almost like she almost had like a MacGyver feel. The clock is ticking down and you got to speak to her. That's why I'm going to show her a picture. I'm going to show her a picture just for that. Because she's snapping and I'm going to show her a picture. You will get deleted if you don't speak within 24 hours. Oh, man. I think I got a letter from a lawyer or something like that. If you don't respond within 24 hours. Anyway, if you smoke, don't match with me. Okay, she's saying swipe left if you smoke. Okay, that sounds good. I think it's one of the most positive things that she said thus far. If your height starts with a 5, don't match with me. You see what just happened? No punctuation. Now, what if a man put on there, if you don't punctuate properly, do not match with me. Oh, he's narcissistic, He's misogynist. He practices mesogamy, or what have you. So anyway, if your height starts with a 5, so you can be 5'11.9" inches tall, and it starts with a 5, so don't match with her. Okay? I'm gonna get to her height. I think her height is in here somewhere. Okay. Don't match with me. If you don't know how to be consistent and actually pursue, don't match with me. Okay. And when I show her a picture, y'all have more than one reason not to match. You'll have more reasons than this not to match with her. Okay. Oh, brother, you shouldn't poke fun at people. The arrogance is what I'm displaying. I'm not poking fun at her. I'm talking about the arrogance. Now, she said, here we go again, and you wonder why she didn't match good before, or she didn't have good results before. It's called hubris. The lady doth dispute too much, and not bringeth enough to the table. Okay? So nevertheless, make sure you look at you and then look at me and make it make sense before you match with me. Another reason I'm going to show her a picture. Another reason, I'm going to show her a picture. If you can't hold a conversation, don't match with me. If you can't put punctuation, don't match with me. Okay. No. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you just so you won't sleep well at night. Okay. Jawad said, ain't no mountain high enough. SubhanAllah. Kezar Souza says, true. Prohibited to propose to a girl who already has been proposed to, but their way around it is we haven't reached that stage. Yeah, she knows she accepted it. The Wali said, okay, y'all can go ahead and talk. She likes you, you like her. Y'all go ahead and talk and work out the wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they know. We can't talk to an infinite, so we can't talk to infinite men at the same time. Okay. Here we go. Whole post just says don't. She does not want a man. Yeah, she don't want a man. I think she wants a young dragon. I think she wants something that's under a bridge. Okay. So Bumble has a 24-hour thing. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, she need to buzz her, buzz herself over to Bumble. Okay, 5'11" and 3/4 here. Okay, you don't qualify, bruh. And aren't you gonna be so glad you don't qualify? Ain't no bar low enough. Okay, ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no bar low enough. So, y'all own it today. Y'all own it today. Please, Akhi, I want to save my eyes. No, you gonna get it. Don't show me. Oh, you gonna get it. Okay. Now, since I finished with this, let's go into some details about the beast. I mean about the woman. Okay. Details. What am I doing? Okay. Details include. Okay, she's 5'7". So yeah, hey, okay. Well, she wants somebody. Uh, she wants somebody. That has 6 or more. She wants somebody with one of the marks of the beast. So I mean, you can't really blame her. She's 5'7". That's the average man height. I think something like that. So she's really tall. She smokes often. Looking for chatting, friendship, long-term relationship. She has kids. Okay, she's looking for somebody 6 foot, 6 foot or better, no fives in the height. I guess if you're 6'5", she might not want you, but she said it starts with a 5, so okay. She smokes often, and when I show you the picture, you'll see you'll agree. Okay, yeah, she smokes often. Okay, send her some cat and antidepressants. I'm gonna send her a depressed cat. I'm gonna send her, a depressed cat. Okay, she has a college degree. You know, it's not in makeup. It's not in cosmetology. She's from Atlanta, Georgia, and she's a Christian woman. She drinks occasionally. Okay. Okay, so okay, she interests are recipes, funny animals. I can't read some of this stuff. Breakfast and brunch. I can't make out that other stuff. Okay, so this is your girl. Okay, this is your girl. This is your gal. Okay, uh, put her back up. Okay, y'all. This is Tree. Okay, now I'm gonna show y'all Tree. Okay, Tree is right here. This is Tree. Now, I saw, man, what is that? Okay, Iron Man was fighting her in the Avengers. Remember, I think when Doctor Strange first showed up, uh, I don't know which one that was when Doctor Strange was fighting. Is that that's when Captain America came back? Um, which is that? That's not the Winter Soldier. It's not the Winter Soldier. It's okay. Doctor Strange and Spider Man and Iron Man was fighting her in the Avengers. Uh, her arm got cut off. Remember, Doctor Strange closed the portal and her arm got cut off. Remember that? You know, they closed the portal and the arm got cut off with the hatchet in the hand. Okay, that's what that reminds me of. Not the one that was gathering rocks and making the rocks go. Not the skinny one, but the bigger one. Yeah. See that I told y'all last week. I'm gonna show the picture. If it's necessary. When y'all heard all those standards, did you think that was the prize? When you heard all those standards, did you think that was the prize? This is why. Well, yeah. One of Thanos' henchmen. Yeah, the big one. She reminds me of that dude. The way she got, bruh. Is that hair in the back, or is that a glue on? Is that a glue on? She like, does that have suction? She's like, is that what that is? It's not a ponytail. I don't want to be called anti-pony Semitic by calling that a ponytail. I'll be anti-donkey Semitic if I call that a ponytail. So I'm not going to go there. Okay. Uh, yeah. The Hulk. Yeah, the Hulk couldn't come out. He couldn't even help. The Hulk couldn't even help. Yeah. That's her. That's her. She did pretty good. Hercules. She did pretty good in that movie. I give her big ups. But nevertheless, all of that drama in the bio, okay, in the intro for this is what you get. It's what you get. Now, I'm not making fun of her looks. I'm saying she said, look at me. Look at you and look at me and make it make sense. Look at you, look at yourself, and look at me and make it make sense. I'm not the one that started this. I didn't start this. This is called Delusional Dating Profile of the Week. Now, do you all agree with me as to the delusion? Everybody's not a prize. Everybody's not a prize. Some man would be happy to have her. It's not the man that she wants. It's not the man that she wants. And that's all that we're saying. I'm not raising my daughters with this delusion. I'm not saying they're going to look like her in 100 years. I'm saying that I'm not raising my daughters with that delusion. I'm going to say, look, I'm going to help you find a good man. I'm going to help you find a good man. Hold on to him for dear life till death overtakes you. Don't look toward social media to define a good man. Look toward Allah's commands and prohibitions to find a good man. Look toward the example of the Rasul Muhammad sallam to find a good man. Don't be on no dating website talking about, here we go again. Look at you and look at me and make it make sense. Well, Doctor Strange is too good for you. Spider-Man is too good for you. Iron Man is too good for you. The Hulk, even if he's changed into the Hulk, is too good for you. If he's still David Banner, he's too good for you. And if he's the Hulk, he's too good for you. Who else? Doctor Strange homeboy, the Oriental Asian dude, he's too good for you. The dude you run with, the skinny dude that gathers rocks and shoots them and stuff like that, he's too good for you. Excuse me. The dude that directed Avengers is too good for you. The guy that washes the cars in the parking lot while the actors are acting is too good for you. Hey, look, I can go on and on. Okay, the grips, the cameramen, the guy that does the CGI, the graphics guy, the wardrobe person is too good for you. So I looked at them and I looked at you and I said, nah, you ain't good enough for them. And it's not just by looks, bruh. There are men that will find her attractive. And I'm not saying she don't have anything attractive about her. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are men that will find her attractive. But look on, I guess on your left. Look on your left, which is, that way. That way. Look here on your left. And not just here on your right, but look here on your left. And that attitude, she says, if you smoke, don't match with me. But she smokes, okay? She smokes. What we gonna do? What is we gonna do? To quote Cedric the Entertainer, say he was in the airport and his couple was into it, and the woman said, "What is we gonna do?" He said, "What is we gonna do?" I think he did that in the Kings of Comedy, but nevertheless, okay. So it, finish him. Subhanallah. So I'm not gonna show her second picture. I'm not even gonna go. I think that picture right there suffices. The other picture, shows her head to toe. I don't think that's necessary. So all I'm saying is, you're asking us to make it make sense. You make it make sense. You make it make sense. You make it make sense. So with that being said, that's all that I have. This has been your brother Saudi Mam for X Factly. Thank you for tuning in. Please share it. If you like it, thumbs up, thumbs down, what have you. Let's try to grow the audience so somebody can challenge you guys with these hilarious comments, subhanAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi